Welcome to the Virtual Realms YouTube channel. This is Ranger 1. Today we're going to take a look at some of the PVE content that was just introduced with the third edition, if you will, of Early Access for Armored Warfare. This is Operation Umbrella, the first of 3 PVE missions that we'll be undertaking. Now, this is done on medium difficulty level. Try as I might, I spent quite a while waiting in the queue, waiting for somebody else to show up for the hard difficulty level, but apparently nobody was biting this particular evening. So medium will have to do. And medium was challenging. Now, part of my reason for choosing the little BMP-1 was because, well, it's medium difficulty. How hard could it be? Let's take in a little, well, relatively modest tank, and not a powerhouse like a Patton or a Leopard. And I'm kind of glad that I did. I think it helped make this mission quite a bit more challenging. Now, the behavior you were seeing there, the AI can get confused if it's attacked from multiple directions, and that's something that you can use to your advantage. But not always. That M60 coming around the corner is not confused and is viewing me and the fellows that are right beside me as its primary target. It keeps swiveling its gun back in my direction, just waiting for me to pop out. But we managed to take him out first. These missions seem to be a game of attrition. You have to minimize the amount of damage that you take. You are probably not going to get one-shotted very often at all, or even two-shotted, but by the end of the mission, if you keep taking significant damage, you are not going to make it to the end in one piece. And your team is limited. At most, it's only 5 players. There we go. And if your teammates, or yourself, of course, get knocked out, that significantly lowers the chances of the group overall to finish a match. And if you fail one of these matches, it kicks you out. You're done. You don't get to participate in any of the other matches in this series. And they are random. They will vary depending on the tank that you have, the level that you're in, and even if you're taking out an identical tank, they will mix it up, apparently. So that's a good thing. And this is the first release of PvE content for Armored Warfare, so I have a feeling there are going to be a lot more missions and maps, a lot more variations that we're going to see crop up as time goes by. Little things will probably be tweaked. Sometimes the AI will spawn in almost directly in front of or behind you. I think they're probably going to have to tweak that a little bit. And some of the AI behavior could stand to be modified at least a bit. But again, this is their first iteration of their PvE system, player versus environment. And I'm sure there is a lot of tweaking and upgrading that is going to happen before all is said and done, even before open beta. Now, they've just spawned in directly behind me. You'll see what I mean. There are targets in front of me now and behind me, and I barely got out of the line of fire in time. And I'm looking for a target. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with this tank. The little BMP-1, it's a fun and quick tank to drive and has a decent amount of firepower, but boy, it has no gun declination, no negative elevation to it. You better be on the flat and narrow or have them above you slightly, otherwise you are not going to be able to bring your gun down enough to be able to hit anything. And that was a monster hit that I just took. Almost took me out of the match. I'm trying to, and I got hit again, but I took that AI out. There's still one more left over there. I don't want to pop out again because I think they've got my number over on that side, and I'm a little isolated, so chances are he'll be focusing on me. I'm looking to see if I can get a shot on that Patton, but that's not looking likely. I need to cut back, though, because one of our secondary objectives, an enemy supply cache, is over there, and I want to blow it up. You will see it outlined in white as I poke around this corner. That's that truck right there. We're going to blow it up real quick. There are 3 of those on the map. If you look at the mini-map, the last supply cache, or secondary objective, is the blue circle just to the left of the center of the map. Our primary objective, which we want to finish off last in this match, is the blue square with the red circle and X in the middle of it. Now we're saving that for last because we have over 10 minutes left. We have time to do all this, assuming we survive. I'm going to let my teammates deal with the 2 heavy tanks that are down there. 3, pardon me. Now let's see, one of those is an AMX 10P. Pack 90, which is dangerous. Alright, he's gone. We'll see if I can put in a little support fire. There's another one that has popped up. View range is an issue, especially in inclement weather like this. Let's see, boy, that elevation is giving me fits there a little bit. Okay, they've taken them out, and there's more that have popped up, basically behind us. Now, fortunately, some of my team, I'm taking a chance here going over this ridge. They could pop me easily right now, but I want that last supply cache. My team was smart enough to leave a couple of players back behind where they were going to spawn in. So now they are flanking the enemy AI, which is probably fortunate because if we had all come to the center of the map right away, they would have had a very good line of fire on us, and I'm not entirely sure that we would have survived that. At least I'm not entirely sure I would have survived that. Okay, there goes that Patton. Now, is that everyone? That is the question. It looks like it. I'm going to move forward and try and capture. Nope. T-62. We all focused on it, though, and I think I got in a finishing blow on it. Now there's a Leopard over there. He's under heavy fire. If this concrete controlled house, blockhouse, will protect me, we can finish him off as well. Alright, now it's time to move into the cap zone and take the primary objective. We got plenty of time, over 8 minutes left. I can only imagine how difficult this would be on hard, the hard setting. And there is one that you can't even try and select, which is called insane. Which, yeah, that probably is something that you will want to take your very best tanks into. And more than likely will want to form a platoon of your own to go into so that you can work together. And you probably better know the mission pretty well. And that's the end of that match. We did okay. I don't know if they're going to randomize anything in the PVE content. They may. The spawn-in points may shift and change. The actual capture points and secondary objectives, and sometimes there are bonus objectives as well. They look like they might change a little bit, but it's really hard to tell. I haven't played enough missions yet to be sure of that. But I have a feeling that there are going to be some dynamic elements that, if they're not already introduced, they will be soon. The maps themselves, some of them are unique to PvE, at least unique so far. We haven't seen them in standard PvP scenarios. And the weather conditions and time of day vary quite a bit. And that's really a nice touch. They've done some excellent lighting and weather effects for this. All in all, I think they've done a pretty good job for their first iteration. Now this is Operation Tsunami, and we need to capture this port, and we're going to have to get into those circles right next to a SATCOM truck and stay there for a few seconds to download intel from them. Okay, fair enough. And our objective is on the other side of the map, next to the docks. These missions also seem to get progressively a little bit more challenging as you proceed through them. The second mission being a little more difficult than the first, and the third being the most difficult of all of them. However, I have noticed that they do seem to come in different order from time to time, so maybe that's just psychological. Maybe the fact that I've already been in such frantic combat already has played a little trick on my mind, and I'm just imagining that they're getting tougher and tougher, but boy, they sure seem to. Anyway, we're going to cut over here to the side and see if we can get some flanking in. However, I'm going to have some difficulty. The lack of gun depression is going to work against me. I can't get a shot at that guy. I'm trying to work my way in here, and I get lit up. I do significant damage, but he's starting to chew on me and run away, which is pretty smart play. I get my nose toward him, and we take him on out. There's another BMP. Look the other way. Look the other way. Don't see me at all. There we go. Alright, we've taken about a fifth of our hit point pool already in the opening engagements, and that's really not good. But it could be worse. So we will continue to try and harass the enemy. See if I can get a little bit of a vantage point here. One of the secondary objectives is behind me and away from the group. So I'm going to speed over there, use my mobility to get to that first. It's that little truck over there with the circle around it and the communications array on top. And there's a Pack 90. And ahead of me, 2 more enemies. And I've got to get out of here. I've gotten the intel. Let's see if I can pick these guys off good. They're looking at the main part of our forces. They haven't really focused on me yet. But now that I've fired, they probably will. So we'll keep the SATCOM truck between us and them. Yeah, I can't destroy it. Hey, you never know till you try, right? And enemy forces are moving into better vantage points. Seeking a little elevation so they can hit our team a little bit better. I'm going to have to watch it. This guy's coming for me. Now that's fairly interesting. He came over there specifically to come after me. Well, maybe not. There was a scorpion over there too. Maybe he was just gravitating toward where there was a little concentration of people. But there we go. I've got somebody to my right. Ow! And okay, take that guy down. I've got a wall protecting me, hopefully. And everyone is behind me, and that's not good. But what I want to do is get over to that next secondary objective if I can. So we will move around. That doesn't look good. I'm going to head back. I'm going to try and support my team. If these guys bite it, then my chances of finishing this mission are nil anyway. Oh, crud. Apparently he doesn't judge me to be the biggest threat. The other guy did, though. And I take a huge hit. Finish him off. I've got to get under cover. Oh, that was close. So was that. Over the top and around the corner. Don't shoot me, don't see me. Okay. One of them is down. The other one's down. Nice teamwork. But I have a threat or two directly in front of me still. You see, this is some crazy action. It is far more fast-paced and intense than most PvP matches that you'll get into. I'm not going to say that it's as challenging as a PvP match, but it is challenging in a different way. Again, it's a battle of attrition, and you have to play very, very strategically. Now, in some cases, the AI is pretty dumb on medium settings. In other cases, they're actually fairly clever on how they move to flank you, which targets they choose. I think a lot of that's pre-scripted, but if it is, then they did a good job with it. Another secondary objective is down. Okay, we've got 2 more over to the right. I'm going to try and slip past them and get to this last SATCOM truck. It's right here, and nobody's guarding it. Yay! Unfortunately, actions like that may generate the spawning of more enemy units. So I'm going to link up with the rest of my team because my butt's kind of hanging out here all by itself. I think we're going to form up now and get together and stage our assault on the last, well, on the main objective, capturing the port itself. And yes, it is defended. There's a patent in the cap circle. We'll get one good shot in and keep moving, because, yeah, this could get ugly. He turned his gun to nail me. He does. It hurts. Don't kill me, please. Stop. Thank you. And Pack 90. Down. Alright. This is where teamwork comes into play. If these guys weren't backing me up, I'd already be dead. But then again, the fact that I charged in there like that did a lot to distract them and give them good shots. And I did a fair share of damage on my own as well. Okay, let's see if we can polish him off. I've got his rear. Almost. So close. Stay there for just a second. Okay. It doesn't take long to capture the point if there are a lot of you in the cap circle. And I think the inherent bonuses that some vehicles have to capture speed and perhaps crew skills, I think that does definitely apply in this mode. So That's a good thing. And it means that the choices that you've made and the skills that you take will directly impact PvE just as much, if not more so, than they impact a PvP match. Alright, it is time to get into the third and final round. This is an extremely fast-paced type of PvE combat. These matches go very, very quickly, usually. I have seen some of them drag out, particularly if you have one or two players that decide to wander off to the other side of the map to, well, I don't know, I've seen them camp areas where occasionally an NPC will spawn and they get a good spot to pick those off, leaving the rest of the team to their own ends, leaving them high and dry. And that can really make a match drag out for quite a while. Usually those matches end up in a loss as well, and that's rather unfortunate. But you're going to run into that. You run into that in PvP, and you're going to run into it in PvE. You will have somebody that wants to get in, maybe a couple of more kills in a match than they would have normally, and could care less if the rest of the team gets wiped out and accrues a loss. Now, there's no accounting for playstyle, just like there's no accounting for your intelligence level. There has never been a requirement for brain power to play a game like this. Fortunately, most of the players are considerably brighter and more considerate than that and do a fine job. I had an enormous number of very, very fun matches. And this is a rather bad situation that I've just gotten into. Fortunately, their turret traverse speed is not the quickest, and they have allowed me to circle strafe them, except I'm getting a little chewed up here. Okay, that could have ended badly. And I have a friend behind me too, which is not good. But fortunately, my team is on the job. That was a near miss. These AI do miss occasionally. It depends on what you're doing. But their marksmanship is really, overall, not that bad. You can't just sit there. They will nail you, and they will do significant damage. But if you keep moving, you can certainly reduce their chances of hitting you. I am really afraid of autocannons in this mode, though. They will start nailing you and keep nailing you and whittle you down to size very, very quickly. Did you see how he pulled back to stay out of my line of fire and the rest of my team? I don't think that was prescripted. I think that that was a behavior that has been written into the AI of that particular unit, which, if that's the case, that's outstanding. Alright, we'll take a shot there, do significant damage. I have to watch it because I am between most of my team and all of these enemy units, and they are all going to try and kill me if they focus on me. He's turning. No, no. Don't do it. You'll regret it. I'm stuck. Lack of gun depression almost got me killed again. Lack of watching where I was going, actually, came a lot closer to killing me that time around than anything else. Let's be honest. We are closing in on our objective and the final few supplemental or secondary objectives. You notice there are challenges here too. I have yet to successfully do one of the challenges. Track 10 enemy vehicles. I've tracked one. There is no way that I'm going to get 10 vehicles tracked this round. That's a tough challenge. Maybe they should reduce that a little bit, because I don't think I've ever had a match where I tracked 10 vehicles, PvP or PvE. Not even half that many. But maybe that's a failing on my part. We're going to head for this last objective. It's right there, and there's defenders as well, and I'm about dead. Just that quick, I am unsure if I'm going to be able to make it to the end of this match. And again, keep in mind, oh, I blew that shot. Took a bad bounce. And that Sheridan's looking at me too. But he can't hit me. I'm on the other side of his friend. Okay, he shot at our teammate instead. There we go. Now the only thing left is the main objective. I have had matches that were lost, even on medium difficulty. I have had matches where we won all of the matches and I didn't live to the end of a single one. There's some repetition to them. I won't try and deny that, but it's spontaneous enough with the actions of your 5 teammates into the mix that you never completely feel like you have the match all figured out. People trigger different events at different times. All of a sudden enemies show up behind you and you were expecting them to not show up for a while yet because somebody ran off and took an objective quicker than you thought they were going to. For an initial effort, it is varied enough to be interesting for quite some time. And it is a game mode that they can continue to add things to as time goes by. There's boundless methods that they can use to make these missions more dynamic, more varied, and even more exciting. I'm anxious to see what... Ooh, I gotta cover my friend. Anxious to see what hard and, dare I say, insane mode is like. And I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to survive them, but I certainly want to give it a try. Anyway, thanks for taking a look at Armored Warfare's new PVE mode with me. We'll probably be seeing several of these missions over the next few days. I know a lot of videos are already out, and I have some in the can as well. So, until I see you again, good hunting.
Identified. Hostile, thanks.
Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.